Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. I'm super excited. Me and my friend Ingrid are hosting these weekly events, and we have an amazing guest on, Mel. I can't wait for you to hear her story. So I will start first by sharing a little bit of my story. This all began back in 2020 in March when the pandemic started. I lost my job and I lost access to the gym, and my depression and my anxiety that I have pretty much been dealing with my whole life just came back like a huge weight, and I started to feel a lot of stress around the fact that I had to financially depend on my partner at the time. And I stopped working out completely for a moment, and I gained 15 pounds, which added more stress and more anxiety and more depression. And I started having some physical symptoms that were manifesting that sent me to the doctors. And that is when I got my diagnosis for celiac disease and Hashimoto's, which are two autoimmune diseases. And the only solution I was presented with, surprise, is prescription drugs, which at this point in my life, I have been omitting even ibuprofen. So I said no to both of those, and I dove into a health journey that consisted of juicing organic produce every morning, eating a lot more raw organic foods, smoothie bowls, and salads, taking a whole bunch of different supplements that I was getting all over the internet from sustainable, ethical, cruelty-free sources. And this went on for almost a year with pretty much no progress. And at this point, I'm so grateful for Ingrid, who you're going to hear from next. She reached out to me online, of all places, on Instagram, and she just started asking questions and got to the point where she realized I was in a pretty rough health spot, and also I was without a job. So she shared with me an amazing opportunity that she had taken on, and it just was like a light bulb moment for me. It's like when I went vegan and I realized that this is what I needed to do for myself, but also the planet and the animals. I was just like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. So I said yes, even though I had to borrow money at the time to do my first ultimate lifestyle transformation, which is the 30-day program that is like your jumpstart into this lifestyle. And I just dove in and I went full force. And by day 6, I was blown away because I had received more benefits and more success with that than the entire year of doing all the right things. So I reached out back to her and I said, what's this free business that's involved? Because I am feeling so incredible. I have to pay it forward and I have to share this with people. And I'm so glad that I did, because now I am doing van life. And after my 30 days, I had looked at the list of all of the different things that I personally went into this for my health, and I was able to cross them all off. I had improved my mental health incredibly. My anxiety and depression were completely under control. I no longer was feeling any of the symptoms from my 2 diagnoses. And on top of that, I was receiving incredible sleep. I got very optimistic about life. I started going to the gym again, because at this point, thankfully, they opened back up. I had lost an entire 15 pounds, that whole amount that I gained during the first year of the pandemic. I lost that in those first 30 days. And my moon cycle got incredibly better. It actually jumped, like it surprised me, because I didn't have any of the old symptoms of the cramping or the moodiness or the cravings. Which is also another thing. I used to overeat and binge eat quite a lot, and I just looked to food for comfort, and this gave me the structure and the ability to completely take that under control. And my life is completely changed for the better. And I am so, so grateful to Ingrid for having the courage to reach out to me, who we were perfect strangers at first. And now we are like family. Our community is incredible. Once I said yes to the business, it opened the door into our community, which I do give a lot of credit to my mental health as well, because being in quarantine and social distance, you feel very isolated. And now I have so many like-minded people in my life that I am just so blessed for. And so I would love to introduce you to Ingrid and have her share her incredible story, because it is very powerful, and I know that it's very relatable for a lot of people as well. So I will pass the mic to you, Ingrid.
Thank you so much, Samantha. You have such a beautiful story, and it's always just such a joy to hear it and for you to share it. And yeah, I've just been really loving these Wellness Wednesday calls as well. It's been so fun getting to share about the products, about the business, getting to share our stories. I love it. So my story with these amazing superfoods started probably about 2 years ago. And to give a little backstory, I've struggled with depression, anxiety in my life. For the later years in my teenage years, I was in foster care until I aged out of foster care. A lot of childhood trauma that came along with that and kind of just worsened my depression. And yeah, just made that a lot harder to deal with. So in foster care, you know, there's a lot of counseling, there's a lot of kind of medications pushed on you as well when you're struggling with mental health diagnoses, such as those. So I went through a big process of trial and error as you go through when you're trying to find the right depression medication. And, you know, at such a young age, it was a really difficult process. And, you know, going on and off these different medications it was grueling. And so some of the medications made a couple things better, other things worse. And there were some that would just make everything a lot worse. So it came to a point where I ended up actually in a mental hospital after trying one of these new prescription medications for depression. And I was there for about 2 weeks. It was a really dark place for me. It was a really hard spot to be in. But yeah, after that, they wanted to keep taking that medication in the hospital as well. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I just said no. And, you know, I've never been on another depression medication since. And so I was just done. I was like, you know, I'd rather be depressed than have to deal with this trial and error process of all of these different medications and how they'd adversely affect my body, my mood, just kind of know you my life. So I was like, I'm just going to live with depression, you know, whatever happens, happens. And I was vegan at the time. When I went vegan, it did help with my depression a little bit. It wasn't a huge improvement, but, you know, it helped a little bit. And then, yeah, I just struggled with depression for all those years. I went to the mental hospital at about 16. And then up until I was 20, you know, I'd have those ups and those lows that you kind of get along with depression and anxiety as well. And so then the pandemic hit. And, you know, I think at that time, everybody's anxiety levels, probably depression levels were pretty much through the roof, kind of crazy. Everybody was, and, you know, I got super depressed right when the pandemic kind of hit. I was really starting to enjoy my job, you know, kind of getting out and networking a little more. And, you know, that kind of just shut that all down. I got super depressed with my parents staying in their duplex, which was great of them, but it was just a weird time. And, you know, there were even days, sometimes weeks, that I wouldn't even get out of bed because I didn't really have the motivation to do anything or to so, you know, I struggled with that it was a few months. And during that time, my husband and I were planning to kind of get out of Wisconsin, get out of the US actually. And we were planning to move to Belize for a while. And that is how I met one of my beautiful friends, Alice. And, you know, I followed her on Instagram just to kind of get to know her a little better before we were going to be living together. And she was just like, she was glowing, like she was on another level. Like it was pretty crazy to just kind of experience her energy and just see what she was doing and the kind of life she was living. And so yeah, I followed her for a while and, you know, kind of got to see a little bit more what she was doing. And I saw that she was drinking this green juice and, you know, talking about all about these superfoods and how they had like changed her life and, you know, really helped her with her depression. So I was asking her, like, what is this stuff? Like, what are you talking about? And, you know, she was vegan and, you know, a really sweet person. So I trusted her and kind of listened to her and all the things that she said about this. And I wasn't ready at first. I was like, you know, I don't need that. Like, I'm vegan. I'm really healthy. You know, I'm just depressed. Like, foods aren't going to help with that, right? And she was like, no, you're wrong. It will. And so after, you know, learning more about the company, about the superfoods, I finally said yes to trying my first ultimate lifestyle transformation. And I'm so happy I did because, yeah, that was 2 years ago already at this point. I said yes to my first transformation, and it came in the mail. I was looking at it. I did some more research while I was waiting for it to come. And I was like, this looks pretty cool. Like, I really loved all the values of the company. I loved all the people that I was meeting in the community that shared these superfoods. And yeah, I was just really excited to try the products because they were so clean. And the process of how their farming is too was really amazing to me. And so my products came in, and yeah, I did my first 30-day ultimate lifestyle transformation. And it was like, I think the third or fourth day in that I noticed, like, I started to notice like changes and just like myself, like my mental clarity, my body even. And yeah, it was like the fourth day probably that I woke up in the morning and it felt like the clouds had almost parted. And like, I didn't really know what it was at this time, but my brain fog had really kind of dissipated. And I woke up with just so much clarity and so much energy. And, you know, throughout the 30 days, every day, I felt like I would have more energy and I would find like more ways to kind of get this energy out. I started a yoga practice, a daily yoga practice. I started going for walks every day. You know, nothing would keep me in bed after, I mean, just weeks before that, I wouldn't want to get out of bed, but nothing could. And yeah, every just thing started to change. My skin was clearing up. My depression was so much more manageable. And those 30 days, it almost seemed like it had like disappeared. I'm like, whoa, is this what a real human is supposed to feel like? But I just felt amazing. And I was so excited to just be alive and to be, it's really changed. Being able to work the superfood business. I've gone through, I mean, I've made so much progress in my mental health, my mental well-being, and my wellness journey. I've lost, I think it was like 8 to 10 pounds in my first ULT, which was absolutely amazing. And just so much incredible change. And, you know, it's brought this amazing community as well to me as well, which was really, really important to me, especially during the pandemic when everything was shut down. You know, I got to meet some of my soul family and some of my best friends that I'll be friends with for the rest of my life during this like terrible time in the world. But you know, it brought something amazing to my life, and I'm just so grateful to be able to share this with the world too, because after my transformation, it was like, I can't keep this a secret. Like, I can't keep this to myself. Like, that's a disservice to the world, to the planet, to its people, everything. So just so grateful to be here and be on this mission. And with that, I'm super excited to turn it over to Mel. She has a really powerful story. She's such a sweetheart. I can't wait for you guys to hear from her and hear her story.
Thank you, Ingrid, for the lovely introduction. And thank you both for inviting me to be a guest on your Wellness Wednesday. I've popped in for a couple and they've been so special. So I was really excited when you asked. And one thing that I love the most is our community for sure. And I started my business, I really started it in August, but I didn't go all in until probably like February. So now that I'm getting more involved with the community and getting to hear everyone's story, one of my favorite parts is like all of our like interconnection. Like there's parts of Ingrid's story that I relate with and Samantha, and that's one of the most special things because all of our stories connect to different people, and that's why we all kind of come together so we can, you know, reach all of the different people with all of our different pieces and parts of ourselves. So I just think that's really cool. But to start with my story, a little backstory. In around 2017, I had moved to Monterey to kind of get started at a startup in the legal cannabis industry, and I was really excited. I've always been like a really busy, like packed schedule kind of person. So I was ready to come here and like, you know, really make some crazy stuff happen. And I did. But along that journey, I kind of lost myself, you know, focusing a lot on building something that, you know, with our team and really focusing on the work. And since it's cannabis, like it was always focused around like getting medicine to people, like getting good medicine to people. And that's still where my mindset is. I still work in the cannabis industry and I love it so much, but there's definitely like the stigma around stoners and people involved with weed don't do a lot is so not the truth, because we have to work so hard and make so much money to even pay taxes to be a business here in California. So I kind of was just pushing myself. I would literally wake up and just give myself enough time to get dressed, get out the door, get to work. I wouldn't eat. I might get coffee. Somebody might bring me coffee, or honestly at lunch, I might even go have like a freaking Bloody Mary because I was so stressed out. And then after work, I would go home from work, grab fast food or whatever takeout we wanted on my way home, and then go home, eat, take a shower, and go to bed. And I did that for a while. And I mean, there were days where, I would take better care of myself. But for the most part, that was kind of the norm because it was accessible. It was easy. But slowly different, things started popping up ailment wise for me. So first I kind of just started like gaining more weight. And at first I didn't notice it. And then eventually I realized, like looking at pictures, I was like, whoa, I look so different than I like imagined I did. Kind of like what's going on. I was really, really inflamed because I was eating tons of gluten. Even though I knew I was sensitive to gluten, I just had a poor relationship with time management and comfort foods, and just being like, oh, like Jack in the Box, cool. That sounds amazing. And be super happy with that. And then feel like crap an hour later. And I would know why, but I just wasn't stepping up for myself, which sometimes I think can be hard for people, but eventually you get to a breaking point. And my breaking point was a car accident that injured my back. And when my ability to like walk comfortably or even sit comfortably was taken away for a couple of weeks, I had some serious self-reflection and was like, that change needs to be made. It's time to like pick a new path. And so I reached out to my girlfriend who works with a company who does like online workouts and nutrition. And so I was like, hey, I know you've been doing this a long time, just like help me get out of this place. So she got me set up with like really comprehensive nutrition and really helped me start looking at food as fuel. So I'm so grateful to her. She really helped set me up for once I found Purium. So that went on until about 2020. And one of or I guess 2021, last April. So it's been over a year now. My really good friend Joelle reached out to me and she was like, hey, I really want to do this like 30-day ultimate lifestyle transformation. I'm going to send you this stuff because I want you to do it with me. But like, if you don't do it, I'm not going to do it. And so without even clicking the link, I just had that like, fuck yes energy. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I'm not even going to question it. And it was so funny because I always say like, I've always been vegan curious, but I've never like done it and stuck to it. And so when I read everything on it after I ordered it, I was so excited because I was like, oh, this is like actually the challenge I've been waiting for, to like prove to myself I can do it and like change my, habits and patterns and like the food that I grew up eating. And so we did the 30 days together and it was so fun. We were like just, exchanging like how we felt so different, and skin was glowing. I wasn't in it to lose weight, but I was losing weight like this like internal inflammation that was, I honestly think from stress buildup, was like shrinking within me. And I was just blown away. So I automatically reached out to Alice. I was like, you have to get me on Smart Order. I don't want to stop taking this stuff. I have to keep taking it. So I continued using the products until now, but up into the point where I wanted to start my business, finally one day, I kind of had the same realization you ladies did, where I just realized like it is such a disservice not to share this with the world. Like if I'm going to be doing it, why wouldn't I want my friends to know about it? Why wouldn't I want, even if I reach out to somebody's aunt that I don't even know and help their aunt, like that just betters everyone that's in their circle. Cause I truly believe when we heal ourselves, our outer world changes too. And the more people that can be healed from within and receive that, the world just gets better. So I decided I'm going all in with this. I want to share this. I want all of my loved ones and everybody to know I'm serious about this. And it seriously is life changing. And so from that point forward, I've just been all in. And like you ladies were saying, the mental health aspect is huge. And I'm super grateful. I've been through like my spouts with like some depression here and there, but for the most part, I have like a really strong mental health. Like I usually can bounce back really quickly from things, but I didn't know I could be like happier and more even keeled. And even to this day, like some days I like think about how I react to stuff and I'm like, wow, like even a few months ago, I wouldn't have done that. And so my goal is just to share this with as many people and touch as many lives, and also continue to better myself, because we can always improve and evolve. And one of the things I love is that I'm being challenged to grow and improve myself and connect with beautiful people who are doing the same, and kind of just like pull other people to like level up their lives. So right now I'm actually challenging myself. I'm doing the 30-day one. And then for the next for one of the months. Done that yet. Uh, like daily meditation, things that make me come who, like, what attributes of myself have grown and what is, what is, I guess, what has been left behind. So thank you, ladies, so much for allowing me to share. I appreciate it so much. And I'm so grateful to be connected with you all.
That's so amazing. Thank you, of course, for jumping on this call with us. Your story is incredible. And so for anyone who's watching, you're probably thinking like, what are these foods? What are they talking about? So I'm gonna share my screen so you can see exactly what it is we are talking about, because it's just food. I know we say like supplements, and you'll see us probably eating like powders and things that look like pills, but it is just food. And as you can see here, transformation, it's a permanent lasting change. So what comes in this package, the ultimate lifestyle transformation, this is the 30-day program. It has all of this that you see here, and I'll show you, I'll break it down, but it's 30-day supply of food. It's replacing 2 of your meals, and it has a gut support, a protein, a nightcap that helps you to sleep, and it has a parasite cleanse involved. So with the Super Amino 23, that is the protein. It's pre-digested amino acids. It is 99% bioavailable, and it enters your bloodstream in 23 minutes. So it doesn't tax your liver or your kidney, doesn't go through your digestive system and break your fast. This is incredible. It was created by a doctor to actually help comatose patients to avoid muscle atrophy. So it can help you not only to build muscle, but to burn fat. It's really great for mental acuity. That's something I have definitely received, as well as skin tightening. And then your nourish spot, that is the power shake. So this is our green juice. This is actually 6 microgreen salads worth of nutrition in 1 serving. And it has the healthy fats, which actually what's in it, the rice bran solubles, it helps to kick on what you call your skinny gene. So it helps to kickstart your metabolism, and it's very, very nourishing and very satisfying and satiating because of that as well. And then the gut health, which this is unlike anything else. This is what really drew me in, because I had no idea what glyphosate was before this, but now I'm on a mission to help people not only learn what it is, but to learn that they have the power with plants to get it the heck out of their system. So glyphosate, for those of you who may not know, it's the active chemical in Roundup, and it's everywhere in our world. It's pretty much unavoidable at this point. So this is a pre and probiotic that has humic and fulvic acids to not only detox the glyphosate from your body, but also go back and regrow your villi and help to restore your gut microbiome so you can actually absorb the nutrition in those first 2. And in this third one, which is the nightcap, the apothecary, it is 1 ingredient. It's just concentrated organic tart cherry juice. It helps to, like I said, it helps you to produce natural melatonin, which is your sleeping hormone. And so it gets you into that deep REM sleep. So that's where you can do a bunch of your repairing and your restoring. And it helps with reducing stress. It's very high in vitamin C and antioxidants and fighting free radical damage. It's also really good for your skin as well. And then the super cleanser, that is the deep colon cleanse and the parasite cleanse. So if you have never done a parasite cleanse, I highly recommend this, doing the second round. So what you'll do is you'll wait 20 days after the 30 days, and then you'll do another round of this, because parasites, when you're flushing them out of your system, they go into like a survival mode. So they start laying eggs to, preserve their species within our body. And we don't want none of that. So you go through your second round, and that flushes the eggs out. And this is just, yeah, as you can see here, you do your second round to really get those little suckers out of you. And parasites, for, those of you who may not know, they have a big part in our mood and in our cravings. So I am definitely grateful that I did this because I was able to combat those food cravings. And then you can see there's another add-on, which is our daily fiber that can help you if you're doing this and you're wanting to lose weight. This is a really great add-on to help you burn your fat. And then it comes with a little lifestyle guide that it helps you track not only your weight, but your inches, your mood, your water intake, so many things that it's called an ultimate lifestyle transformation for very good reason. It helps you to kick those bad habits that are no longer serving you and pick up some really good healthy habits. Like, we were talking about meditation and yoga, exercising, all sorts of really good stuff that it just motivates you to want to be your best self because you start to feel your best self. And then the core 4 is kind of our maintenance package. So after the 30 days, it's not like you do this and then you're done. You will go back and you'll do the core 4, which is the first 4 foods. You just cut it in half and you do once a day. For me personally, for most of them, I still do 2 a day because it's just completely transformed the way I eat, the way I see food, and it's incredible. So we do recommend, if you're here and you're hearing this, or if you're on watching the replay, to reach out to whoever sent this to you because they hold a gift card code that can save you over $100 on this package. And for anyone who may be an athlete, there's an upgrade that you can do, which is the Plus Performance, and that has the pre-workout, the post-workout, it has the protein powders, the Can't Beat This, it has extra aminos, which is amazing. You get to try 2 of the really yummy juices that we have, the Cocoa Hydrate, the Aloe Digest, and the Super Xanthan, which is an internal sunscreen on top of being a muscle repair. So it's a really good bang for your buck. It gives you everything you need for 30 days of not only doing this cleanse, but also to support you in working out, because most likely you're going to have energy to burn and you're going to want to do it some way or another. So yeah, get back with who invited you or sent this to you, because this community is just incredible. We are here to help you. And if there's anything else that you ladies wanted to add on, let's see.
I would just love to say that these superfoods have been really amazing for me. They've changed pretty much every aspect of my life. Like, I'm a very different person than I was 2 years ago, and I owe most of that to these superfoods, which has just been amazing. And these seem to come into people's lives right when they're ready for them, right when they need them most. And it's kind of just, why wouldn't you try it? There's a 60-day money back guarantee. And it's just, why wouldn't you treat yourself or try to better yourself with these amazing superfoods and nutrition? And this has become a big part of my grocery bill. And, it's actually lessened my grocery bill as well. And lowering my grocery bill, uptaking my nutrition. So it's just been amazing. And yeah, so why not try it?
I agree. You really have nothing to lose. One thing I wanted to add is just the accessibility, how easy it is. So I'm always on the go. Especially like right now during I'm on the middle 10 days. And when you're drinking just all the power shakes and taking the foods, I feel so much more like in control of what I'm eating and how I feel. And it's funny because this is the more intense part of the cleanse, and it just feels so natural and good. And in general, though, like Ingrid was saying, these foods have changed me from the inside out, but also the way I look at food as fuel, and just the accessibility. You could literally be on a road trip through the middle of America where all there is fast food and still have better organic produce than you can get at Whole Foods. It's a no-brainer. So thank you, ladies, so much for having me. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And I hope everyone, finds these foods, because they truly meet you where you are and help you in all the different ways that you can never imagine. So
Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who tuned in. I am just so grateful for both of you and so grateful to this community and these foods. And I hope you all have such a beautiful Wellness Wednesday.